like is
They'll break it themselves.
connection fee, agreement fee. You see those two? I feel like agents in Nigeria, they have agreed on the corruption. And when there's always cooperation when there is corruption.
House hunting in Lagos can be really crazy, especially if you're a single person. The reason for this and many more is what we'll be unpacking in today's episode of Pulse Hot Takes. My name is Chris.
And my name is Elvis Christian. And on today's spectacular episode, we have spectacular people. Yes, spectacular is my favorite word. How are you doing?
I'm good, Chris.
I feel like you need no introduction, yeah, but regardless, you do an introduction.
Okay, my name is DaSilva, superstar businessman.
Okay. Are we taking out the reality superstar as well? Because you're like
just superstar
superstar.
businessman.
Interesting. All right.
My name is Moyoluwa Akolade Alonge. I'm a real estate agent.
Superstar real estate agent. You can't have yourself now. No, it's only you. You can manifest the superstarness into it.
Okay, superstar.
All right.
Wow.
All right. So, why is house hunting difficult in Lagos? Because I have experience with house hunting and it's difficult for me, but I want to, So I want to hear why you think is difficult.
Okay, so I'll allow the agent start first
do you
because
wanna-
with me, I'm going to go too deep.
We don't
Because,
mind. It's hot
you know,
takes.
Anyway.
Okay. House hunting is difficult in Lagos because I would say 80% or 90% of Nigerians wants to come to Lagos
Okay, there's
because
that's a bit.
Okay,
Well,
I've never really
I would
looked at it
say
from that side.
maybe because of the vision, Lagos as a mega
City, yeah.
and for what we have been seeing. So we can see that the landmass in Lagos is not that big.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be filling the island to
Yeah.
so and if we look at Lagos, we see that businesses thrive in Lagos. So many people want
Want to come here?
So that is one of the major reasons why house hunting
It's
is
difficult.
Yes, it's difficult.
Yes, I
Because-
mean, looking at it from like population density, I get that, right? I also feel like personally, based off my own personal experience, if I go to you, the main reason why hunting houses in Lagos is hard and difficult is because the money that is demanded, you're expected to have, isn't matching the housing that is
exactly.
being supplied.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
The pricing and supply you don't have a positive relationship.
Yes.
Because you're telling me that, my experience as a student, I wanted to get a small BQ. Initially, I was like, I want to get a BQ, small boys quarter. I wanted a tiny parlor for myself, have, a little bit of luxury. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Have a kitchen that is outside of the main room. And I
Yeah.
went towards Yaba, Bariga, and it was reaching the millions.
Yes.
And not one.
Yes.
So I said millions, not 1 million. It was passing 1.5. And I was like, what's going on? Then I was like, let me now downsize my dreams and get one bedroom. And it was around 800. And understandably so, yeah. I now followed this guy. I was like, let's go and see this 800. I won't still pay 800 for one bedroom, but
Yes.
let me
Let me
see.
Mm.
This man took me, we got to the end of the street and told me that, he now said, we're taking the next left. It did not look like there was a next left. You understand? I feel like sensibly the street should have ended at that point. And we took the next left. And the house was hanging for dear life. And we entered inside. I'm like, this is a cell. You're supposed to have it's a shared bathroom
Yes.
and no kitchen. You're supposed to cook the same place that you sleep.
Okay.
For
Maybe outside.
800K.
Or outside. Cooking outside is wild. But you get my point.
Yeah.
So that's my personal experience, and it was terrible. I had to go back to my parents' house. Like, I don't have a problem with living in my house that my father is paying rent. So that it's crazy that the price and supply as regards housing in Lagos, no jig at all. So what do you think about that?
I think I've discussed this, topic a whole lot.
Yeah.
So a lot of times economists will say, this and that. But when it comes to housing in Lagos or housing in Nigeria as a whole, there are so many economic factors that they don't teach in school that affect it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I like the fact that you mentioned Yaba. I was born in Ojuelegba, Karemu Street.
Oh, I know Karemu Street.
Yes,
Yeah.
Iberi Adekoka Hospital. So I'm very familiar with that environs. One thing you have to understand is most of those areas, Yaba, Surulere, they had old homes,
Yeah.
and you could divide. There was a clear dichotomy in those areas. You know where the posh people were staying,
Yeah.
and you know where the average and below average were staying.
Yes.
The average and below average sometimes can even be staying in the same area, in that area. Because I grew up in Mabo. That was where we were first staying, Mabo. It was a face me, I face you. Obviously, the housing was cheaper, you get. But now, all of those housing have been phased out. Because why? People like Femi Gbaja built the roads. And immediately they build the roads, developers will come and take your house. They will give you an offer. You people will fight as a family. In the end, you'll be like, Omo,
Let's
it's
just
better
sell it.
for us to sell it.
Yeah.
And when they sell it, what happens? The amount that house was built when it was built before, a developer has to invest more money to put it to modern standards. So what happens is they have to increase the price. And none of the rents in Nigeria is rent controlled.
Yeah.
There are places in England that are rent controlled. There are buildings that you cannot raise the rent higher than this. But there is no place.
That's interesting.
Yes, there are places, so many like apartments that are rent controlled because they know it's for old people. They know they are on fixed income. So it's not possible that
So you
you
just-
own a property there and you raise the rent. But we have nothing like that in Nigeria. So that means, first of all, associations will come together, put street lights. Associations will come together, probably interlock the road. Associations will come together, probably build a borehole. Associations will come together, buy transformer, do all of these things. So they are basically their own government. So it's just what it is. They will just put whatever price they want for their rent. I'm not saying it's right. It is one factor. You get what I'm saying? I'm saying it from the perspective of a landlord. You get. But now, when you now come to the house hunting bit, the supply and the demand and the supply can never jig. It's not possible. Because
that's not what they said in economics class.
see,
why?
it can never jig because there's too much demand, number one. And there are now so many greedy factors
Exactly.
around it.
Yeah.
A lot of people have invested in their houses. Some people know that whether they invest or they don't invest, whoever comes into their house to take care of the house and invest in it for them. And that is just what it's going to be. So if I start going deep,
We
and
want you
deep,
to go deep.
see,
digging for gold.
oh my God. If I want to go deeper,
Yeah.
who are the people that can afford to own homes in Nigeria?
It's like, I feel like to afford to own homes in Nigeria,
Yes.
I'm just throwing this number out of my head. Like at least, and like underwhelming 2%.
Okay. So I
Of
can
the
remember
entire
there was this
population.
statistics where they were saying that like 2% or 5% don't have more than 500K in their account or
Yep.
something like that. That was a few years ago. But the reason why I'm even saying this is if you can afford to pay rent of 4-5 million naira a year in Lagos, you are actually supposed to be able to afford a home. If it was before.
Yes. Okay.
Do you understand what I'm
because
saying? I'm
that
not
just
saying
scattered
now.
in my head a little bit.
I'm not talking about now.
That's scattered
So
my head a little
the
bit.
economic factors have moved. They've shifted in such a way whereby the people that our parents could afford to own homes at the age that we are at
Right now, yes.
You
Yes.
get. But what is happening to us? We are not affording to own homes. We are affording to pay exorbitant rents.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? That's where things have shifted to. Because people, when I'm talking about all of these rent issue, people keep saying, you keep saying we are supposed to be owning homes, but there are still people that are renting. And I'm telling them that there are still people that are renting because those people are supposed to be affording their own homes. 5 million naira as at 2014 was over 10,000 pounds. 10,000 pounds right now is about 20 million
20
naira.
naira, yeah. You can get a small
That's just
bungalow.
that's just the truth about it. That is the factor.
Mm-hmm.
You should be owning your own home, but instead you're paying more rent and you cannot afford to own your own home. But I'm just gonna stop there for
So
now.
wait, but that whole renting and owning, I know a number of people that would rather just rent. I know someone very close to me right now that does not believe in owning a house in Lagos. he's from Delta State
Yeah.
and says it is wiser for
To own a
him
house
to
in
own
Delta.
to own a house in Delta
Mhm.
and then rent in Lagos.
So it
I keep hitting
depends.
my mic here.
So it depends. For me now, yeah, I liquidated a lot of assets because I wanted to own a home
Mhm.
in England.
Interesting.
You understand what I'm saying? I did that because I looked at how am I going to preserve my wealth? Do I buy thank God I did not do a silly thing like buying a new car. Let's say buy another G-Wagon or buy an E-Class
there
or
is a
something.
G-Wagon.
I'm just saying in my head that thank God I didn't do something foolish like
Yeah,
that.
I get that.
Like get another fancy car. I looked at it that okay, I need to make sacrifices to actually preserve my wealth. Where okay, with 50K or 55,000 pounds, I can literally buy a house on mortgage in the UK, and I'm making give or take 1,002, 1,003, 1,001 on rent after paying all of my bills. Yeah, that right now that is about over 2 million naira a month. In a year, that is 24 million naira in a year. That same amount, bring it to Nigeria. You buy a house and you're making 5 million naira a year in rent. So what are you, where are you supposed to be? Are you supposed to be advancing or not? And that's why people are increasing their rents, because everyone that can afford to own a home, as I said before, everyone that can afford to own a home, all they want to do is be able to compete. They want to be able to compete globally. It's true. Because if you buy a home of 100 million and you're collecting rent of 5 million,
100 million with
that's
a bathtub pool.
I'm telling you, like you buy a home of 100 million, let's say you buy a home of 100 million orchid and you're not living in Nigeria, you're collecting rent of 5 million. You convert that money to dollars or pounds. You cannot compete.
Yes,
Yeah.
like,
You understand? You buy one ticket to come back to Nigeria and the money is gone.
1 year rent has gone.
You get what I'm saying? The money is gone. So people will keep trying to increase the rent to be able to compete globally. That is just the honest truth. And those are the only people that can afford to own a home. But if if our economy was good to the extent whereby people in our generation could afford to own homes, the rent would not be that way.
So this rent regulation, right, that you mentioned, it's something that just stuck with me. Yeah. There was a time where they were saying that in Lagos, they wanted to move from annual rent to monthly
It's
rent.
not possible.
It's not possible.
Can't work.
It can't work. Why? Why do you think it can't work? Do you think it cannot work?
It can work. It depends on the government policy.
Oh, okay.
It depends on government policy.
As a realtor, would you rather rent houses monthly or annually?
As for me,
Yeah.
annually.
So you just get your big money once and not chase them.
Yes, annually.
But then is that fair though? Because I feel like yes, Lagos prices are ridiculous, but if you divide it into 12 months, it's still the same amount of money, but it's understandable. And when, let's say, I disagree. I take it back. Because personally, I think about it, rent is an overwhelming expense for me. So I think I would rather want to do it once and get it over and done with instead of doing it every month. So what if I lose my job this month and I have no source of income? But if I had paid it since January and I still lose my job, at least I have somewhere to sleep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I feel he has his ups and downs.
Yes.
And that, but more
I
ups
think
than downs.
on the people renting, it has more downs for us
Oh,
than ups.
Yeah.
Even for the land, for the house owners, it has ups and downs for them.
Okay.
Reason is because they have to chase you.
Well, if you have a fair price, you won't be chasing people.
See, this is it. Let us see ourselves as how can I put it?
Pencils in the hands of the creator.
Human beings are. That's why I said policy the other time.
Yeah.
My lawyer told me there is nowhere it is written in Nigeria Constitution that you stays in one man's house a day for free. Are you getting me? Yes. Okay. There is nowhere it is in our constitution that you
What about
sleep.
squatters law?
Yeah, that's what I was going to.
And you are staying with someone. Are you getting me?
No, not necessarily.
Staying like in an empty house.
Staying that is the let me say that is with the consent of the owner.
Okay.
I am
Fair
I am
point.
talking in a place whereby you rent a house
Okay.
and the occupant is telling the
Landlord.
owner of the house
Yeah.
that give me
The days, 1 month.
yes, I get him.
Yeah.
There is no way in our constitution
That says
so
that.
just imagine now that you do not get your pay at the end of the month early
Mm-hmm.
and you are telling
The landlord.
that give me 2 or 3 days. Are you getting me?
Mhm.
So I always advise my own clients that even if you have the money and they are saying pay 1.5 years, why not do it? Because it will give you more time. Because if it is a year, by the time you close your eyes and wake, a year is a
But I feel like that is a psychological thing. If you open your eye and close it 1 year, if it's 1.5 years,
Yes.
if you open your eyes and close it, it will be 1.5 years.
This is it. You will have time. You
Yeah.
will have time
Yeah.
to save up.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? With the rest of mind.
I feel like
Because-
it's not really personal. See, I feel like from your perspective, I get that. But to a lot of tenants,
It's not really.
it's
like
not
that.
really, it's the, oh, we'll save up. It's the fact that it is expensive and you're not getting your money's worth.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of these houses
Okay.
don't have as simple as water.
Good water.
The water, I wanted to get to
Water
good
first.
water, yeah.
Water first.
Water
Good
first,
water first.
then good water,
Okay.
then parking space.
Okay.
You understand? Then being in a good location.
Okay.
You understand? So
Okay.
all these factors, and if it floods, real lived experience, you are living in a
That's
lake.
talk, you can't come on.
Yeah, this is this is it. The other time I said government policy.
What will go?
Are the government doing what they should do?
Well, they are not doing anything regardless.
So and as owners
Yeah.
of the house or association,
Mhm.
you don't have the right.
Oh, there's an association for like homeowners.
Yes, now.
I wouldn't know, to be honest.
Every
Because you don't own a
I
home.
wouldn't know.
most
Because you
most
don't own a
places
home.
have
As-
On
homeowners
this street, they
associations.
have an association.
Association. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I get that.
Yes,
I thought like
most
a
estates-
Lagos state
No,
homeowners.
no, no, no.
Oh, okay,
Estates,
of course.
most-
What I'm
Of
saying,
course.
what I'm
Oh,
saying
yeah,
is
yeah,
definitely.
they don't have that right to do the road.
True.
No, of course.
Are you
I
getting
agree.
me?
I agree.
So it is not their fault that there is flood on the streets.
But you should also consider that there is flood on the street when you are pricing. So I get the whole investment thing.
Yes.
I'm not a business expert, right? But it is wise to invest appropriately. Don't go, because I want to build a house in Makoko, as Makoko is right now,
Yes.
but I want to have an elevator inside a 3-bedroom, a 3-story building. I want to have marble floors. I want to have gold railings, and that is your investment. And I say that, because I've done that, I'm going to make a rent in that my Makoko place 5 billion a month.
Should I
silly.
bust your head?
Yes.
There'll be someone that will take it.
Yes.
Well,
There would always be someone that will take it.
Yes.
That's
The honest
silly.
truth is, most of the people that rent their homes build it for themselves.
okay, I see that.
That's what I'm telling you. That, before we even started the show, I said something. I said people that have a certain amount of money and above have all left the country.
Yeah.
So they've left empty homes that they want to generate income from. So they build those houses to
To
their
suit their
taste.
taste.
To their taste. I have a friend that owns a mansion in Lekki, for example, and what he does with the house now is shortlets. He rents it out.
Even
for,
that short, that was another scam too.
yes, he rents it
That
out.
one is
for,
another
but people are
scam.
paying.
Yeah.
Because
The
Yeah.
amounts he charges is about 800 or 700K per
Oh,
day,
nice.
and people pay.
yes, like there is this.
There's
there's a
the
shortlist
thing.
system now they do now, because many shortlists they will tell you, we don't want you to throw parties in our shortlist. We don't want you to have more than 30 people in there. We don't want you to do shoots in there. So there's this new brand now where people rent houses and they call them party villas. You rent them one day, and one day is going for $1 million for
Yes.
one day.
So you need to understand something.
There,
Yeah,
are
those
people, there is no price you put
on your property.
on your product. There will be a buyer.
Yes. Whoever sees the value and wants that value will buy it.
There will be a buyer.
yeah, but that kind of puts people that are not earning a lot at a disadvantage, because if everybody has that notion that, oh, if I put a price, I'll go see buyer.
Okay, let me
You can just decide to get a house, put any price, then we now have a housing deficit. Then people are homeless, and not because there are no homes. It's because there are no homes that they can afford. So if everyone starts to think like a capitalist, then there is a class problem.
So I've always been saying it, that there's going to be a definite bubble burst in the housing in Lagos, especially, where there would now be people without homes and a lot of empty homes.
Yes,
I know that is definitely going to happen very soon if rent is not controlled.
Well, what can control it? That's why I said the other time, government policy.
You keep saying government policy,
Yes.
but the government are not going to policy anything.
Sir, when
It's-
what he said begins to happen, government will come in.
Government.
I mean,
So
Tinubu
why
just
does the government
injected
have
like
to
200 billion to the housing sector.
300.
That's
To his relative, might I add.
that
So
actually
because
doesn't affect anything.
because when people start taking over our bus stop as their house,
Yes.
when people start sleeping on the road as their house, government will come in. And
But there are people sleeping on the
problem,
The road, too.
yes,
They're already doing it, too.
They are,
So we're
they
just
are not
waiting for them.
much.
That's what I was about to say.
They
You're
are
waiting for
not
them
much.
to get.
But you
What-
guys have a
what-
strong role to play in that, because the kind of government we have, if you
Okay.
keep waiting for them, nothing is going to happen.
Okay.
So you guys can do something about it.
They don't have.
There is
we don't have
nothing
any
a
role to
real
play.
estate can do about it. A
I
real
started
estate agent can
this
do.
conversation.
Investment.
No, not even
Yeah.
leave investment alone. I'm talking to you about competing. See, there was one ridiculous statement that was said, and it was, "Oh, why is everybody bothered about the dollar and all of that? We don't spend dollar." For me, that is
Okay.
the most ridiculous
Yeah,
statement
very
anybody
redundant.
in government can make. And the reason why I said is ridiculous is because anybody that definitely has an investment of up to 100 million naira in an economy, the person is looking for how they can remain rich compared to their counterparts abroad. Because it's very easy for me to be rich in Nigeria. This is the poverty capital of the world. So if I am rich here, what I'm thinking to myself is, am I as rich as my classmate when I was in England, that is my same age, doing the same work that I'm doing, and can I afford what he can afford? No. It's just the honest truth. They have, and it's not because I don't have more cash at hand. I might have more cash at hand, but he has access to proper credits to do a lot more than I can do.
We don't even have that.
We don't have a lot of those things. And that's why I said, if you are paying normally if this country was still sane and the way it's supposed to be, if you can afford to pay 6 million naira a year for rent, you should be able to have
buy
your
a
own
house.
home.
Yeah,
It's just what it is. It's just the truth. You get. And I wanted to chime in on what you were saying about the party homes and the shortlets. And see, shortlets have come in because we have a thing where people want 24 hours electricity. People want a space that is already furnished. People want different sort of specs that normal rental income cannot give. That is why shortlets have been thriving. And people want that privacy of not being able to go to lobby, one hotel lobby, they call one room. You just come, it feels like a home. That is why it has been thriving. So whatever you put your shortlet price at, people are going to pay. And whoever owns a shortlet, again, is looking at competing in the world. See, when there was this shortlet, we used to charge 35K. At the time we started charging 35K, that shortlet, that 35K was about $100 per day. People were paying. It was cool. Now that exact same shortlet is going for 72K per day. It's not up to $100. But people will say you have increased the price. But look at it relatively. If I am gathering this money, I have this investment in Ikoyi, I have this investment in VI, my child is abroad, I'm using this shortlet money
Why is
to
your
pay.
child abroad?
My child is abroad because I
You don't want your child to be abroad.
supposedly can afford to send him comfortably abroad, but I'm charging from 35K, $100 per day to 75K, which is almost
Still under.
it is like 50 something dollars per day now that I'm earning, and things are hard. My child is calling me that, daddy, you have reduced the pocket money from
Maybe if he was in
from
legal schooling.
$300 to this. But see, the reason why you make more money is to be insulated from the Nigerian institution.
Sure.
And the first insulation is you give yourself exposure. If you don't have that kind of exposure to know if you cannot even buy exposure with all the money you have, then what is the use of making money?
All right, so let's move on from that.
So moving on from this, I want to ask, is there like a bias against single women renting houses in Lagos? And if there is, I want to know why, because I personally have experienced it. The reason why I don't know, because you have cases where landlords will say, oh, we can't rent our house to a single woman.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you agree?
Yes.
You
Of
can't.
course.
You wouldn't rent your house to
you
a
won't
single
rent your house to
woman.
a single woman.
I don't own the house.
Okay,
But
would
if
you?
own the house, would you rent it to a single woman?
I will rent it.
Okay, so
okay.
I would
Based on
like
some conditions.
Oh, but
Yes.
are there any conditions for single men?
No.
Why?
Oh, that's
So
so,
that's
you
where the
see where
bias
the
is.
problem is now.
This
So
is-
why are there conditions for the women?
This is it. I will talk based on my experience.
Okay,
Okay.
fair.
When you most times, if we are talking about single women now, let us look at the age range.
Okay.
Let us look at the age range. Let's see from 28 to 35.
Okay.
Normally, they should be married.
I disagree,
wait,
but
wait.
I'll let you
Let him
land.
land,
I'll let
let
you
him
land, but I
land.
disagree
Let's
already.
Let's make this point.
Normally,
Yeah.
normally,
Yeah.
they should be married.
Yes.
Normally.
Normally. Okay.
Culturally.
Yeah.
Culturally,
Culturally,
thank you.
yes,
Yeah.
not normal.
Normally.
Okay,
yeah.
culturally,
Yeah.
they should be married. So this thing always comes up, and I think it is only those that are exposed or those that are matured that always watch it in them.
Okay.
There is always this I don't know how I can put it, that you can't talk to them anyhow. Are you getting me? As in, there are some things they won't take.
But isn't that a good
Naturally,
thing, though?
wait, please. Naturally, if they are married, I am talking about those in that age
Age
That
bracket.
group,
age
yeah.
bracket.
Yeah.
If they are married, they will be they
More
will be-
submissive.
Thank you.
Mm.
But for them not to be married, there are some things they won't take lightly.
Like,
I have an experience. I gave a client
An apartment.
yes, an apartment, and the owner of the house always complain about her, and when they say they should do this, though she will do it, but the way she will do it,
do things like, oh, let's
Like, what's
sanitize,
we
like,
need to, like,
for
No.
environmental
read, like,
sanitation. What
details
are the
so
things?
we
it's not
understand.
environmental sanitation,
So
money.
Oh, like you should bring
Like
money
contributions.
to
Yes.
contribute for.
something.
Yes, for something, maybe
Okay.
water or
Oh, okay, I get that.
so the man said she will pay, but she will first of all grumble, murmur, and all that.
I don't think
I mean,
that's a
times are
gender
hard,
thing.
bro.
It's
like-
I'm
I
not
don't
talking
think that's a
about now.
gender thing.
Okay.
I am not talking about now. So there was a time when I now said, okay, let me
Talk
meet
to her, yeah.
When I went to visit her, I tried to see reasons with her, and I see that there is this thing
Her countenance.
no, not account antennas now. I think she's being pained
Oh.
that is like they are cheating her because she's not married.
Mm.
Are you getting me?
Okay.
Are you getting me? So it's just like everybody is looking down
On
on
her.
her because she's not
Oh, she's
married.
being bullied.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
Okay.
because she's not married, and she will say when she was walking, two people are talking, and she knew that they are talking
About her.
her. So I was just like, what concerns any other person? You are not living in face to face. You
Okay.
are living in a self-contained. So what concerns you with every other person? You go to your work, you come back, enter your flat. There is nothing. It's just because of this money, maybe an NEPA bills or
Oh, she didn't want
or
to pay
water.
NEPA bill.
It's not that she
Real,
doesn't
sha.
want to pay, but I think he's being pained that she's not married.
Also,
I
this
get
is
him.
a peculiar situation.
Yes.
To this lady.
And to this particular
secondly-
lady.
Yes. And secondly, most ladies have more friends.
Okay.
Are you getting me? And if I am talking about, that's why I use the age
28
age
to
bracket,
35, yeah.
28 to 35.
Yeah.
They have the freedom for themselves.
Okay.
There is nobody that will tell you that this is the time you should come home. Are you
Okay.
getting me? So most of them goes to club.
So you think?
Coming
Do you
back-
think? Okay, sir. Let me just cut you there. So do you think men within 28 to 35 don't have a lot of friends as well? Don't go to clubs too? Why do you think that is something that's specific to the single women?
Okay, culturally now, I don't want to be biased there, but
No,
just
this is
let
biased.
me no, just let me see it
Yeah. No.
the way I want to
You're
see
free,
it
you're free.
culturally.
Yeah.
It's a men's word.
Not to be biased, but it's immense world.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a men's word.
Okay.
And there are some things even in your house
Mm.
where you will do, but your sister don't have that liberty.
Not really
Of-
my house,
of-
shall. I have 4 sisters, so they are the overwhelming majority. So they get to even do things for free than I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
But okay. So on what I am saying,
Yeah.
I am talking majorly culturally.
Mm-hmm.
So they feel like when we give our apartment to a male person, we'll be able to fine tune him, to control him, to be able to see someone responsible.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'll
I'm
let
sorry.
Christopher do that.
Okay.
I really need to understand this because I don't know, like everything is just sparking in my head.
Sorry.
Okay, so first of all, you
Said
mentioned
sorry.
the lady has more friends.
Yes.
More friends, as in,
Yes.
oh, people are always coming to visit her.
Visit her.
Okay. And then you also said something now. What
Con-
was the thing you just said now?
like
You
men
will
be able to
fine-tune
tune a man,
her
but not fine tune a woman.
to-
Yes.
Why do you want to fine tune a woman? First of all,
Why do you want to fine tune
why do
anybody?
you want to fine tune anybody? Secondly, I do not even understand the point of the fact that she has more.
More
Let me now
friends.
speak from my personal
Okay.
experience because I feel like I'll be able to
Yes.
articulate better
Better.
if I'm
Yes.
speaking from my personal experience. So I wanted to get a house when I first moved to Lagos, checked a couple of places, and I always kept hearing, they no go Greek, she's a single woman. They no go agree on a single woman. How should they take afford the rent if she no be a shower? She go they pack men come the house.
Thank
like
you.
Oh,
let's
thank
even-
you.
Let's
Yes.
assume that I'm truly an ashawo and that's my lifestyle. Why should it bother you? I know it's your house, but I'm paying for it, right? It's not as if I'm going to be bringing my customers to your house. I
yours.
would understand if you say, oh, you don't want me bringing my
Customers over.
to your house. I should not turn your house into
Hypothetically,
a brothel.
because you can just clip this video now.
You're turning your house into a brothel, but
Mm.
it's now affecting we that are not.
Be a shows.
Don't
Okay.
don't say it like that. Do you get? It's now
Okay.
affect. Do you get? So like, I don't think it's. I don't. To be honest, I can't understand it. I'm trying to really see it from your point of view, but I cannot understand it.
Okay. Let me quickly say this. Estate agents are like
Middlemen.
no, I don't want to use a middleman. They are advertising for you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Are you getting me?
Okay.
Advertising for the
what-
house owner.
Yes.
Oh yeah. For the
I was
house.
just,
owner.
I was just
House
about to
owner.
say this.
Okay.
So it is what you tell me
Okay.
that I will do.
Mhm.
Are you getting me?
Mm-hmm.
If you say it is tall people you want in your house, are you getting me? I will look for tall people.
I mean, obviously,
But-
sorry to cut you short.
Okay,
but
yeah.
Obviously, this is not. I'm sorry I didn't let you land. I just wanted to say this before you
Okay.
continue because you're saying is what the landlord tells you that
Yes.
you do. My anger is not with the agent.
Yes,
I
I,
Because
I want to say
obviously
like
I know that it's not
yeah,
your
you're doing
house,
your
so
job.
You are just
yeah.
doing what you are told. My
Yeah.
anger is with the owners of the house that say they cannot give me a house because I'm a single woman, a house that I can afford to pay for.
Yes. I will.
For things
I
that are
will-
not
I will-
peculiar to you being a
So-
woman.
I will.
Let me just say
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that when we started this conversation, I asked you guys a question. I said, who are the people that can afford to own homes?
Yeah.
It is a separate generation from our generation. They don't have the enlightenment that we have.
Okay.
And if it was me that was your landlord, I would understand. That would not be what I would ask, whether she's an Ashawo or not. Whether I have those kind of doubts in my head that will she be able to afford rent, I can be very creative. There are estates in Lekki that before you can rent house there, they will ask you the job you do. They will tell you to bring bank statements. No matter who you are, guy, you, babe, because anybody can decide not to pay rent. So they need to know that there's a steady stream of income. But you're talking now about the people that can afford to pay to own homes, or they have always owned homes. These are people that are in their 60s, maybe in their 70s self,
or
80s self. A lot of these people don't have the same thinking
we have now
that we have in this generation. And that's why it's extremely important that we are empowered enough to own homes. So it is always going to be a buzz conversation. We are going to go nowhere because it's like speaking to a brick wall. You're speaking to people that their generation is way different from ours.
Yes. I'm 50-50 on that, right? Yes, I understand. It pains me whenever I hear when younger people complain about a particular phenomenon, and you are told, well, you are dealing with people that are older and they are accustomed to think this particular way. So what am I now supposed to do if I'm a single woman and you're now telling me that I have this friend that was looking for an apartment. She could very well rent the place. If they had asked for bank statements, she had a successful business she was doing, right? So if they asked for these things, she would provide. But she didn't even get the luxury of, let me see if you can afford it. If they tried that, the moment she was physical, the man was like, now woman are they follow talk. I don't even know. Then she now had to tell me to come pretend. No, she didn't tell me. She just told me to come. Like she knew what was going to happen because it was not her first rodeo. Then I showed up at the place and this man refused to have a conversation with the girl. Assumed it was me because the guy didn't even know what was going on. So he will come and start saying, this is this thing. Is this up to you? Is this something you would want to live in? And I'm like, ask madam. Because what you're asking me, like, if we were even really married, if it was a man and a wife, you should also consult the other person that came. This man paid no attention to the girl. When it was not time to, she was like, I like the spot, I want to pay for it. Found out she was single, stopped replying messages. And this was I also feel like you middlemen, yes, you are advertisers. There's something you can do about it because I don't believe any human being is a rock. I don't believe any human being is a wall. Opinions, regardless, I stand on it. Opinions can be changed. People can unlearn things and the government can play a role. There should be rules against discrimination, against people's gender, people's ages. If I can afford a house and you have a system to prove that, your point is affordability. Everybody has a right to own property, a right to shelter. So you cannot tell me because I am unmarried. What if a woman decides to not get married?
All of these things you are saying, as I've told you before, it is all just buzz. You're just going to keep going around in circles.
So what should single women do?
Wait, you're talking about affordability. You can do this, you can do that. Yeah. Yes, you can do all of those things. Yeah. But at the end of the day, those people that own those properties are part of a generation that they are not ready to learn.
I don't like that.
See, I know the kind of conversations. My dad died when he was 66 years old. I was in England. I know the kind of conversations I could have with him. Even things that were black and white, I could not literally explain these things to this man. There was a time when the government in the UK said, immediately you're done with your school, get out of our country. My dad did not understand it. Why? Because when my sisters were in the UK, they could stay. He said, no, your sisters did this. So what are you telling me? They don't want to hear.
Actually,
you get what I'm saying?
Make them hear.
No matter what you do, I
don't believe in no matter what you do.
I have experienced things like what you are saying.
Yeah. Where a landlord doesn't want a particular.
And you even talk about government. The government cannot tell these people what to do with their own homes. If you look at
No,
the
no,
entire,
I
if you look at the entire Lagos is built by private people.
Rest. See,
Lagos was not developed by the government.
Yes,
It was built
I
by
understand
private
that.
people. All of these things. I've seen points where my parents, my friends' fathers would go to the government, people that are powerful, and say, "See, you people don't want to fix this road. I will fix this road. Toba being that ever stop me." Those are the people that can do some things, hard. But an average person in Lagos, even if you have the money and influence, you cannot do that. You get what I'm saying? You hear someone that is a Fernandez, a Da Costa, a Da Rocha, a pure Lagosian, a true Lagosian. You hear all of these names and Cardozo's. You tell them that, they cannot build their own road. Because why? There is a system of government. You have to come and do this. You have to come and do that. After they struggle, build their own road, you think the government will be able to tell them how much they can charge for rent, who they can put in their house? It's not possible.
It is possible. Quite frankly, it is very possible. The government cannot tell people what to do with their... No, the government cannot tell people what to do with their private properties. But the government can put in place legislations such that certain people would not be discriminated against.
How?
Yes,
How
you
would they be
can.
implemented?
You can. There can be laws that says that you cannot have unjust reasons to disqualify a person from owning a house or renting a house.
If I tell you,
If
I
your
have a
reason,
just reason, what do you want to?
you can be sued for it. We're talking like it does not happen everywhere else.
Have you ever tried to sue anybody
I've seen
Nigeria?
on Instagram. That's what I'm saying. That's the government can now do something about it, where our legal justice system is something to write home about.
If you are looking at a solution for housing in Nigeria,
We are not yet there.
if you talk about government, you are missing it totally.
We are not yet there.
If you talk about government, you are missing it totally.
Yeah, but
if you want to control rent, you want to control anything, you have to have all of those Jaconde homes. Those are the things that can be controlled by the government.
did you know
The things that they invested in building
everything that is in Nigeria
your
can be
point.
controlled by the government.
Not everything
Let's be
can
very
be controlled.
honest.
Not
Everything in Nigeria can be
Bro,
controlled.
Dollar is fighting for his dear life right now.
That's because we have a bad government. I'm speaking idealistically.
Okay.
Anything that shines in the territory of Nigeria
You
can be
can't.
controlled
I'm telling you,
by
you
the
cannot
Nigerian
control
government.
what you don't invest in. You cannot
That's why
control nothing
it's
that
because
you
we
don't.
have a bad
you don't own.
like I said, I'm speaking idealistically. Something can be done,
If the
but
government-
something
If the
will not
government
be.
invests in it,
Yes,
then
that's what I'm saying.
that clause is extremely important. I'm telling you that Lagos was built by private individuals,
I think-
and you're telling me that
Even
As it
as
stands
it,
now.
I've always known that even as it was developed by private individuals, it can still be controlled.
Did you know?
One
the government-
one legislation would
the
turn
places that
everything on
the
its
places
head.
that the government built.
Elsa, did
Let's
you
hear
know that
from him.
day before yesterday,
Yeah.
the commissioner of housing in Lagos
Yeah.
was talking about even the government homes that they want to regulate it.
And that's understandable.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Why? Because people are complaining that those that bought those houses, they are paying exorbitantly.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting me?
Mhm.
So government can control it based on what they invest in.
They provided the
Yes.
house. I understand
Are you
that. I
getting
don't.
me?
I get his point.
So now, if you are saying you will sue me because I did not give you a house, what is your yardstick? I can give you 1,000 reasons why I don't give you my house, and it will be justifiable.
Exactly.
Not really, though.
It will be.
Not really.
See, if-
Not really.
I don't know how to explain this thing to you guys.
It will
like,
be. It is my house.
very, very
Not
easy.
really.
I can
but
say I can say
it's-
so many things why I did not give you homes.
Like,
This is it. I have an experience based on what she was asking, that there was a lady, 18 years. She is a banker, and because she has a small stature, when she came, I was like, you are too small. So when I take her to the owner of the house, it was like she can't give.
an 18-year-old.
We have to call the dad of that girl to come and say they own their own house, but because of the distance
From work.
there.
Yeah.
So based on that, they gave that girl that place.
Mm.
Are you getting me? So most times it's just they just want to see a man figure.
That's the part
That's
I
the
disagree
problem.
with.
That's
the
the
man
problem.
That's the part
figure
I
thing that you're
disagree
talking
with.
about,
Yes.
it stems from cultural stuff.
That's what I'm
Misogyny.
saying.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
There's a lot
what
of
I'm
misogyny
saying.
inside.
And from
And-
what he have said, those that can afford to own homes, are you getting me? They are not of our generation.
A lot of them.
Most
Our
of
generation.
them, yes.
A lot
I
of
knew you
them.
were
Most
going
of
to say
them-
that. Just keep quiet.
Yeah.
Most of them
Four
are
generations, yeah.
adamant. Most of them are adamant. I would tell my dad, let's get a lawyer to be managing your house. He said, what I have been managing before you were born.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? What can a small boy come and tell me
What to do about it? I get
so
that.
they are adamant, and they believe they are wiser. So I believe that it is just a cultural thing.
Okay.
Well, like
Culture
you
is
said,
dynamic and can change.
Yeah, I've
It will.
had issues, like even personal issues. My mom, she raised me herself, and it was difficult for her to get a home till she put my uncle in the mix. You get what I'm saying? So this is something that has always happened, and then I was like maybe 1, 2. This is something that's been happening since the 90s.
Yes.
It has been happening forever. You get what I'm saying? So it's definitely a cultural issue. But now, when we are supposed to be phasing all of these cultures out, the reason why a lot of things are getting phased out is because we are now a lot more than them. The rape culture is going.
Is it?
Well,
Yes.
there is
Yes.
more. There is more
Kind of
conversation
podcast.
around it. There is a lot more
I
conversation.
think that's a
around it.
longer conversation to have, but let's just
Yes,
move
but
on.
I'm just saying those things that were termed as normal, victim blaming or victim shaming, are no longer as normal as it used to be. But those things are easy to control. But when it comes to wealth, let us just be honest with ourselves. A lot of people that own homes now, our generation, inherited it from their parents. Not, if you look at like the people that can own homes in our generation, they have some sort of investment that is kind of tied to the dollar. If it is a skit maker that is earning from YouTube, wait, I'm saying if it's a skit maker that is earning from YouTube and can convert his money to naira from dollars,
yeah.
can afford to own his own home or her own home. Those are the kind of people that can afford to own homes. And they're in a very, very small minority. No matter how many skits you see in this life, you need to understand that there are still over 100 million poor youths.
True.
That cannot even afford to have phones.
Yeah.
That is just the honest truth. We don't have an economy that is viable for youths that have this sort of thinking where, I can rent to a younger person. She's a single person. Okay, she has a good source of income. What is there? I give you the rent. The only thing that will make me want to chase you out is if you spoil the house, if you have a lot of complaints. Those are tangible reasons. Those are reasons why
That's what I'm
you
talking
get
about.
kicked out from even
Real
houses
reasons,
abroad.
yeah.
Real reasons. You ruin the house. You have fights in the house. You're smoking in the house a whole lot. There are some houses that they don't condone
No smoking, yeah.
You have pets in the house. You have too many people over a lot of times.
Yeah.
You are, you make life unbearable for your neighbors.
neighbors.
A lot of those are the only reasons why I'll kick you out. But unfortunately, the people that have those kind of clear thinkings can't afford to own their own homes.
All right, so let's talk about agent and agreement fees. That's you collect that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
I would like to know what the agreement
Yeah,
fee
is
particular
why
What
is it so
that
expensive?
agreement?
Because you can be renting a house for 800k,
Why are you
and the
collecting
agent and
10%?
agreement
Are
fee
you good?
is
500.
500k,
No.
and I'm now paying
It's
1.3.
10% of whatever amount you are paying for the house. So, like you said, if I'm paying 5 million as rent, the agent is collecting 500k.
That's on paper. A good. It's collecting $1 million from you.
Which one are you asking now?
Round. Why is it so expensive? What is it first, and why is it so expensive?
Okay.
Why do
I
you
have some
charge
follow-up- I
agent
have
and
some
agreement
follow-up
fees?
questions.
Okay. Agency fee and agreement fee, they are different.
Wow.
Agency fee is the work I do to help you get that place. Agreement is between you and the landlord.
So why are you collecting money for my agreement to the landlord?
No. It is not the agent that collects that.
It's the landlord that collects the agreement
Yes.
fee. That's why I asked that agreement fee. What's the agreement fee for?
Agreement
Caution.
is this. Agreement.
You
no,
pay
we are-
caution fee
pay caution
separately.
we are coming to you. Agreement fee. Okay, agreement is the agreement between the landlord and the occupant.
Yes, yeah.
basically, it should be for the lawyer because it is the lawyer
That
that will do the
facilitates the
agreements.
agreement. Yeah.
I get me.
Yes.
So normally, but in Nigeria now, when they say like this thing 5 million rent, 500,000, but let us be realistic now. When you have 5 million, how much is 500,000?
It's not.
Sir.
Wait.
How does that sound?
Wait.
Do you know how I sweat to even get the 5 million?
Now,
Which way shout out the 500?
Bros, if someone can afford 5 million, how much is
500K is a lot of money.
It's actually a lot of money.
It
not.
is.
And you know, some agents will even make you pay inspection fee before.
Let me tell you,
this is it.
I have major issues with all the agency fees. Like, I understand agency fee is a standard fee around the world.
Yes.
But when you guys start adding, I understand caution fee as well, because definitely if you put good stuff in your house, you don't want someone to
and
damage it.
sometimes they don't return your caution fee, even if
Yeah,
you don't break
100%.
anything.
But the one I don't like is
They'll break it themselves.
connection fee, agreement fee. You see those two? I feel like agents in Nigeria, they have agreed on the corruption. And when there's always cooperation when there is corruption. So all the agents have agreed that that's what they want to be doing. And for me, it's very unfair. You get? That's just my own perspective.
Okay.
So because the house I went to, one of the houses I went to look at in Yaba Bariga when I was looking for place to stay when I was in school, I found it myself.
Okay.
No agent took me there.
you there,
I was
okay.
just walking on the main road and I saw to let,
Okay.
and I walked in
Okay.
and I saw a phone number and I called.
Okay.
And I called the uncle. That's this place I want to see it. I went to the place. I liked the place. When they were not giving me money, they not still added agent fee. So I'm like, why are you collecting the money? You did not work.
Okay.
You didn't advertise the house to me.
Okay.
I saw it myself.
Okay, let me quickly answer that. Some landlords are greedy. Some.
Oh,
For the fact that he
okay,
put it
some.
there. For the fact that he put it there.
Yeah.
Even if an agent call him that he has someone there, he will not answer the person.
Okay.
Are you getting me? And secondly is just that we Nigerians, like I always say, we are too in haste in doing things.
Okay.
We are too in haste in doing things. Okay, let me before I go into that, did you know that some landlord will even share part of your agency fee with you?
I don't understand.
The landlord will collect money from the
We
agents.
still collect, yes, we divide it into two.
You see, I will say it, sorry, but the landlords are the problems.
Of
Wait,
course.
so
That's
it
the
is
roots.
not.
The
It is
landlords
not.
are the problems.
I know some people that I manage their.
The way I
their
don't still understand
apartments.
what was
They
said.
will tell you
He said
that, are you the one that helped me to build my house? I call you to come and
the
eat.
agency fee that you're paying the agent,
Are you getting me?
landlord will still
Because
collect inside.
when they say that you are collecting 50K, they will like big money. You just slash it into two. So agreement form.
So wait,
like I was
I
saying
didn't
the
get
other
what you're
time.
saying. So let's say I've paid rent, so the agreement fee, the landlord still takes from the agreement fee
Yes.
from the
And the
agent.
agency
Yes,
fee as
from
well.
the agency fee.
So the landlord is taking rent, caution fee,
Agreement
and a little bit
fee.
of the
The whole agreement fee. The whole you said the whole
Most
agreement fee.
landlord don't have a lawyer. In fact, they won't even give you any agreement.
How would you go to
Why
a
am
house
I
that doesn't
even
have?
paying
to
agreement fee
feel?
in the first place?
I get me.
So if there's no lawyer, why am
it is a normal thing.
Why? I want
This
to know
is
the
it.
why.
This is it. This is it. There is nothing you do in a property that you won't have the consent of a lawyer.
Yeah.
Are you
Okay.
getting me? So when it is the lawyer that should do agreement for both of you,
Okay, so
the agreement is that the landlord cannot evict you whenever he likes.
okay.
Oh,
Are you getting me?
okay.
He can't evict you because we have an agreement.
Okay.
So even if he wants to give your house to your son, you have to come and meet me
And give you notice.
and give me notice. And it will be on my condition because you are the one.
As I had the agreement with.
Yes.
Okay.
So can I just say this also before we
Okay.
move on, right? So if there is no lawyer, how does the agreement hold?
That is what I'm saying.
Does it hold any water? It's not legal if there's no lawyer.
That is what
And
I am
usually
saying.
it's-
That most of us, we are too in haste in doing things.
Normally, you should never take a house
the
without
house, without a lawyer. There must be a legal factor.
So now, because in Nigeria you
If
can
not, you're just
do
a squatter.
anything. Are you getting me? So most times, even the caution fee when you said they don't return it, I return it if it's his house that I manage, because it will be on the agreement. Before you leave that place, I will come and inspect.
So is that where the inspection's
Inspection.
fee
No, it's
comes?
not inspection.
So what's
Inspection is-
It is caution fee.
Before.
I am talking about.
Okay,
now.
you inspect, then you refund
Yes.
the caution fee.
Yes, but
no,
I always
that's not what he's talking about.
No, he's
That's
saying
what I'm
that
saying.
when you're
Inspection
moving
fee.
out.
No,
What
when
I'm
you
talking
when
about
you
is
are
not what he's
moving,
talking about.
yes,
Inspection
when you
fee
are
is before
moving
you
out,
get the house.
Yes.
when you are moving out, when you are packed out, I will come back and check
Did you break
if
the
all
light? Did you break
our this thing is
yeah.
Intact.
Inspection fee is when you're looking for a
Inspection
house. You
fee
call
is when you
agents.
are-
They carry
yes,
up and
now.
down.
Why am I paying inspection fee?
when you are paying
No,
inspection
no.
fee.
I don't know.
Normally, I don't collect it.
Oh, you're nice.
Because we're all
Real
spending.
talk.
If we
Wait,
want
this
to
is
look
it.
at
This is it. This is it. Let me speak for those that collect it.
okay, please do.
It's just like you moving me out of my comfort zone. Are you getting me?
But it's your
And
job.
most clients don't know what is necessary to do.
Okay.
You've moved someone out of his office.
Well, I should give you like
But
a
it's your
honorarium.
with
Right?
well, if you
Anyway,
call
I
it
don't know.
honorarium, fine.
Explain it to me
But
so I
you have
can
moved someone
understand.
out of his office.
Mhm.
At least when going, if it is 1,000, 2,000.
Well, like a tip.
Thank you.
It's better if you
Tell
put
me
it
to.
that way.
Yeah.
But they would tell, and the inspection fee is not 1,000 naira.
How much is it?
I've paid 5,000 naira for
5,000, yes.
inspection fee.
I
How much did I
understand.
spend coming from where I was coming to come and check the
I-
place
I-
and going back?
I understand.
Wait, so will I still pay if I don't like the house?
Yes, so
Yes, you will
you pay. Because you pay the inspection fee before they even take you to
Yeah.
the house.
Normally.
You will pay.
It's ridiculous.
So wait, if you take me for inspection and you not take me to a canal,
Did-
I don't like the house.
Did
You will not
you
collect
know-
money from me.
Hello,
You
sir.
will drag
Hello,
it
sir.
You will
The
take
money
the
has-
money from my account.
Hello,
No, the
sir.
money has already been paid.
Hello,
You
sir.
pay the money before you. That's what I'm
You
saying.
cannot-
Hello,
Do
sir.
not take
Hello,
care
sir.
of
Did you
everything.
know that me as an agent, I have a client that an agent is owing is in charge of the place. We have to pay that agent.
Ha.
Are you getting me? So
It's a lot of.
See,
It's a lot.
There's a lot of underground
Bros,
conniving to
it's
suck
a
the
lot.
money out of
Where
your
you are
bank
staying,
account.
Ah. And last week we were arguing about living in your parents' house. Please.
I think. Oh my
the-
god! I think there's
So most
so
times-
much with agents. Like you guys have a whole lot of sucking that you do to clients.
Mhm.
And for me, that is why I always, if someone wants to rent a place or get a place and all those kind of things, I always say, just put the structure down in place. If you are getting an agent, if the agent is coming, you already write it in the agreement that, guy, your money is 2.5%. You get what I'm saying? It should be in agreement, but not many people, like I said, the generation that own homes, not many of them have those kind of structures in place to actually, you get, because normally when your agent has brought somebody to me, I will state everything there clear. That's, yeah, so your agency fee is this and this is this. So you know exactly how much you are paying to this person, because the person is supposed to be advertising my own home.
Yeah.
The person is not supposed to be charging you exorbitant money, but not many people put those kind of structures in place. They just give, agents free will, and the agents treat Nigerians anyhow.
All right. So I feel like if we continue talking about this, we keep like
Going-
unmasking a lot of things. So right now we're going to move on to reacting to several trends on social media this past week.
Yeah.
Davido recently came outside and made it public that he is donating 300 million naira to a foundation, I think, as his yearly give back to the community type thing. What do you think about this gesture?
I think it's good if it's something that he can
Continue.
even if he cannot continue,
At least
because
once.
income is very, very somehow.
Mhm.
If this year he can do 300, if next year he can do, it is a CSR. It's always good. I always like when people do give back to their communities.
Yeah, I think it's nice, right? Seeing that celebrities, because now there's this whole Afrobeats to the world crave now.
Yeah.
Nigerian artists have hit it have hit diamond.
Sure,
Yeah.
yes.
Right, they're earning supernormal profit. So I think it's nice to see that someone at the top there is
Give him
coming
Trying.
back to give kudos to Davido for that.
kudos
At
to
least he's
him,
not
because
arguing
that's
online
it.
anymore. He's actually giving money.
He has done good now. You're still dragging him.
Moving on.
Okay, so Idris Abdul Karim.
Okay.
Idris Abdul
Abdul Karim,
Karim was in the news recently for some controversial statements that he made. I think it was on a podcast or something.
Yeah, it was a
Okay, so
podcast.
I'm just going to read some of the things that he said. So we're just going to react
React
to
to
it
it.
and see what we think. So he said something about Sheyi Law disclosing that his biggest mistake was supporting Bola Tinubu. And Sheyi Law came out to say it was a joke. Oh, I didn't do that. So he also said something like, he sacrificed his career for the success of Wizkid, Burna Boy, and I
Please.
think he said Davido as well, when he had a fight with 50 Cent.
How?
So personally, yeah, I feel like there is a crop of old Nigerian artists that are very bitter. And sometimes they come on podcasts and you hear them start saying, oh, I did this for that, I did this for this, I did this
person.
for that. Everybody is doing everything for somebody that has blown now. I feel like your time we don't really need to hear you talk, right? Unfortunately, your time has passed. Collect royalties, if any, and just be quiet. Because a lot of the times you see our quote unquote legends in podcasts, it's one bullshit that is being said. I don't really, personally, I saw the whole thing on Twitter and I was like, swipe. Because previously it was Terry G that was saying,
Yeah,
it was
no,
dashing
it was
everybody
you.
hits. Then previous people,
Was it Terry?
yeah, I was like, oh, I did this for that. Nobody's helping me now.
Even this guy that was from the
Fame comes,
Plantation
fame
Boys.
goes. Sit down, keep quiet.
Blackface?
Yeah.
Blackface, I feel like Blackface, even when he
Yeah,
was
I-
prominent, he was stealing it. Someone's always stealing his songs.
Yeah, so for me, I feel like it's important that they tell their stories. I'm just
I
saying, I'm
agree.
just
I'm gonna
saying,
be
I'm just
devil's
saying from
advocate.
personal perspective, because I remember there was a documentary of Afrobeat culture,
Yes.
and everyone was trying to take their own credit for how they contributed to the culture. If they interviewed me,
Which is in part.
yes, if they interviewed me, I would also say
That's
how I
what I said.
affected the culture. I was throwing the biggest parties in Hertfordshire. I did Colchester, I did Nottingham, and I was playing Nigerian music in all of those parties. It spread the Afrobeat culture in some way or the other. So everybody has their own personal story on how they helped the culture.
So
So,
that's-
you should not say they should not say what they want to say. I feel it's important that they have those conversations amongst themselves and
And
say,
who knows, it may be true.
no, I don't think they helped anybody, Sha. I don't think
That is the tea.
I don't think they helped
That
anyone.
is the tea.
I need to be very clear about this. I feel the Wizkids, Davido, and Burna, all of these
Work
guys,
the work
I feel
themselves.
like they invested so much of their money and time to break that barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, people
Completely.
paved the way.
Yes.
I agree.
Completely. I'm not
When
even
you-
talking about their business and all of that. Even the sound,
Yes.
the way they evolved
Sonically, yeah.
the sound to be accepted globally, you get. Then we can never forget investments that helped them, which was Apple Music at first.
Mhm.
Apple Music was the one that first risked it, came to Nigeria, and immediately they saw how many people were streaming songs in Africa. They were chatting. You know, it is through your streams that you chat.
Mhm.
And all of these American artists are saying, who is this Burna guy that is chatting, that is getting
Yeah, then they start
um,
featuring
500 million
500
streams?
streams.
I need to share out of these streams. Let's feature him. That is how
You grew.
they got to that level. You get. So they really, really, really invested. We cannot. I heard that Burna sold one land or something to release his album or something, that year album, you know. So these guys took risks. So nobody, Idris, when did Idris stop singing songs?
Like, personally, yeah, I don't want to, because people are going to
Legend,
throw in the
but
Gen Z talk. I don't even know who the
I
man
don't
is.
think
You don't know
I think they
Idris?
can say their stories,
It's a lie.
Yes,
but
it
it
But
is very
My
disingenuous
problem
for
is
them
that
to
each
say
time they
they
come
are the
out to
ones
tell
that
Yeah.
So my problem is each time
a legend.
a dated artist, I don't want to say legend because that's a rich term, a dated artist, yeah, that was relevant a long time ago, BC, when each time they come back to talk, they are always grumbling about something, about present
Yeah.
artists.
But-
You see them insulting Burna Boy, and I'm like,
No,
from where
but
to
it's
where?
not, it's not all of them, but it's not all of them.
It-
I saw an interview with Tony Tatula, and he said he's a huge fan of the new acts. And I understand him is
Better
in,
be.
yeah, Tony Tatula is in a place of comfort. He's a real estate guru. He has homes and all that kind of
So
stuff.
he's collecting agreement fee.
No. I'm saying he's a developer. He owns his own homes. You know, he owns his own homes. So he in fact is absolutely proud
Yeah.
of all of, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Yes,
get-
that's
You know,
my point.
If you're at your limelight, it's like Big Brother. I was on Big Brother. At the peak of your limelight, the first thing you need to do is shape your brand for exactly what you want it to be forever.
Mm.
If you don't take that time out to shape your brand and you're just going from this gig
Deal
to
to
another,
another deal.
you're signing with this person and doing this,
I
you're
agree.
doing photo shoots every month to post on Instagram, then it is going to affect you. You get what I'm saying? It's going to affect you in the long run, because now you come out of the house and the first thing is you have this comments, 1,000, 2,000. These are your fans. These are people that are owned by the platform. Immediately there's a next set.
They will move
Yes,
on
they're
to the
going to
next
move.
But
housemate.
the fortunate and unfortunate thing you're not seeing is that you have, let's say, 10,000 fans that love you. Genuinely, they are your fans. Then you have a lot of onlookers. You can convert those people.
Yeah.
You can make a tangible brand out of that thing. So when they were at their limelight, the first thing they could have done, since music, they will earn money from shows and all those things, they should have invested it in something tangible, like Tony Tatwila. You get? Invest it in something tangible so that by now, when your music is no more moving,
You have
you'll
something
be,
else to
you know,
fall back on.
you'll be looking. I know a lot of those artists. Let me not mention any names. I grew up in Surulere. We saw all of these artists. We know how many cars they used to have.
Yes.
So many, and a lot of them, even till now, they're still driving those cars from 15 years ago, 18 years ago, because income is no more coming as before. So you
Income is
need
no longer
tangible. Even now that Burna is earning $60 million or whatever $1 million, he needs to have tangible income that will be coming
That's advice
even
from
later.
a wise businessman.
even later.
All right, so a pastor.
Okay.
Okay, let me just rush that because
Pastor.
that's my church.
I don't want to talk about that.
So a pastor, Pastor Siju Leomadi, RCCG, she's a pastor.
That's
She
your
threw,
church.
yeah, that's my church. She threw her 60th birthday party. She's a really religious woman, and Flavor, a secular artist, some will say worldly artist, performed, and it cost a lot of people. Are you Christian?
Please, what song did you sing?
Yes.
first?
His entire discography.
But I don't even think he's.
So,
singing.
So that means Ashawo was there.
no. I didn't say that.
Asked what song
I didn't say that. So a pastor, she's the wife of the senior pastor of the parish, and they are the regional headquarters herself. So she was doing her birthday party, so she called a secular artist to come perform. Do you think that is, that's good?
Well,
Do you think it's scriptural?
it's not scriptural.
Mm.
It's not scriptural, but for every pastor, they have their life to
Mm.
live.
Yeah.
I get me. So I don't want to see it in a spiritual aspect.
Mm.
Thank
And
you.
there was a time Nathaniel Bassey was talking about Christian marriages, and someone answered him, "Is it Hallelujah I will be singing on my wedding day?" Are you getting me? So
Period. I like that because it's true.
yes. So most times, pastors also have their life
Yeah.
to live
Mm.
after leaving the pulpit.
Mm.
Are you getting me? But what we always take them for is not who they are or who they
So
are.
pastors are living two lives.
No,
That's
as
not
in
what he's
what
saying.
we take them for, we always see them as a semi-god.
Oh.
I
That
get
can
it.
never do wrong.
Yeah.
That can
Yes,
make
that
mistakes.
can make mistake. Pastor maybe me likes a Tiwa Savage song.
Mm.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Pastors may like
Davido.
Davido. But we always want to put them as only people like like it is the way God is moving.
They are moving to. So personally, this particular pastor, we know her personally. We that attend the church, it's not out of character for her. This is just the one that hates mainstream media. she's a babe. She's a baby girl. She's not the typical pastor's wife. She's always dolled up. Bone straights
Isn't
that
that
she's
light
wearing.
skin pastor that
Yes,
was
light
trending
skin.
one
Yes,
time?
her bone straight is to touch ground. Like she's a doll. She's somebody that swims in money. She likes the flashy things, of good things of life. So I don't think it was really that deep
Yeah.
for her.
Okay. I think
So because
So-
it casted, a lot of opinions started entering in.
So where did she shoot? Where did she do her birthday? Is it
not
in
in
the,
the church.
Yes,
Not,
so-
it wasn't in the church.
So because if we look at
Not
it,
in like the church, the pulpit. No, it wasn't
tell
there.
you, there are churches that have halls.
Yes,
that
that's
they
where it
rent
happened.
out.
Yes.
And those halls, they play secular music.
yeah,
They
so
might be
for
in the same
weddings,
church video, in the same
birthdays,
church
building.
but they rent those halls out. They will not tell anybody that don't play this music, don't play that music. I know we put pastors and all of these people on a
very high
pedestal.
Yeah, pedestal.
We know that, yeah. Another thing we need to understand is they are human.
Yeah.
You know, they
So
are.
air is
they-
human.
yes. No, I'm not trying to make any excuse for anybody. I'm just saying they are human. They are entertaining worldly people. And if they invite artists of the world to perform,
Why not?
so far they are not disrespecting the.
If
If that is the standard that they've set for themselves, their congregants understand it.
All
you
right,
know?
Christopher.
Obviously,
I have
a
nothing to say
priest,
about this one.
a priest will not do that.
I know.
You get like a Catholic priest will not do that.
Yeah, because
That's-
ideally they
Because-
expected not to.
Yes, so they have a standard that they are supposed to adhere to become a Catholic priest. But if
No,
Your-
my Catholic church, they play secular music during bazaar.
I'm not talking about they play,
You know,
secular-
secular
I'm talking
music
about
and-
Bringing in secular
Mm.
artists
No,
to
no,
perform.
no.
not even that.
A
I'm talking
priest.
about a
A
priest.
priest
Okay,
on
okay.
his
Yeah,
own.
a priest on his birthday. He wants to celebrate his birthday.
You know, called
It would not
Era
be.
Star.
He will not call. You know
You know,
what I'm saying?
sorry to cut you
You know?
short. There's secular music
There's
and
worldly.
there's carnal music,
Yeah.
right? Carnal music,
Pastor
you have people
preach.
swearing and saying all those things that you shouldn't say. Timmy Dakolo, for example, is a secular music artist, right?
But he's not carnal.
But he doesn't sing carnal songs. So I don't see anything wrong in a pastor listening to secular music that is not carnal. Timmy Dakolo sings about love.
Mhm.
God is love.
Yes.
So I'm just saying that secular music, carnal music, I think we need to understand the difference, because once somebody is not singing Jesus, you are the ladder to heaven.
You are not a Christian.
But you know that we know Flavor is
Very
That's why I
buoyant.
asked.
You get what I'm saying?
That's why I
Uku
asked.
Sarambara
So-
Nadimo. If
you
you know what that
Yeah,
means.
sing.
So that is why they are. But the thing is, Flavor, Keys Daniel, those are the people that
Afro pension music.
yeah, they are exactly. They own that generation. They have
Yeah.
them on chokehold.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Let
Any
them play
like, they
Buga
know-
like this.
they
Old
know,
women.
They literally
Yes.
know their songs more than us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Word
You
for
get?
word.
Yes. So, if that's what to entertain her guests,
Why not?
Let them
not?
be entertained.
All right, it's the final
Still
story.
in the music industry, I don't know if we've all seen the trending
Yeah.
video of Omah Lay bringing a girl on stage to,
Mm.
So before I move to the, or rather, let me ask the question first, but before I allow all of us speak, I would like to say something. So what do we think, first of all, about artists picking girls from the, what do you
crowd.
call them? The crowd to come on stage and dance with them? Now, pertaining to this video, apparently she was there with her man, right?
of course, yeah.
And then Omah Lay came and said, "Bring the lady out, let her come out." And she went there, there was a whole curtain giving silhouettes. And she was, me personally, I feel if you go for a show with your man, die there.
Like, stay with him.
Why is an artist dragging you on stage and you're going there and you're doing all the whole, it's very disrespectful to the
guy.
to the guy that you're with.
Mhm.
Very embarrassing. How would you feel if you go out with your man and let's say Itiwa Savage is performing and she brings your man on stage and he's,
I will go, but anyways.
of course, you will go.
But this is
What I'm saying, what the thing, the annoying thing about it is that watching the video, it's weird that we have several angles to that video, which is making me feel like it's PR because no one really talks about an Omah Lay performance. He's not a performer, right? He's a guy that sings.
Oh, wow.
So just like questionably, but the girl, he walks up to her. He goes straight to her. Typically, they
Did he go
cruise.
straight to-
Yeah,
They were in
cruise around.
front, though.
Yeah, no, he goes from where he's standing. He comes down straight to her. Ideally, they will search around for
now,
babes.
maybe don't
who
sight
is
the girl
exactly? He
before
goes to the
now.
girl. The girl didn't turn back to acknowledge
The
the guy. We're assuming they are dating. They could be married. or siblings, but we're assuming they are dating, right?
No, they're not siblings.
She didn't acknowledge the guy. She
don't know.
goes up, and not only I would have understood if it was a lap dance, because artists like Usher, Janet Jackson, they do it. It's like it's their thing. It's their thing. What is their gimmick, right? But they go up. Not only is it not a lap dance, there is a
It's a
curtain,
proper show.
and she's dancing so. And by the way, props to that girl. She did dance scatter. She was very good. She was dancing better than the actual performer, which is why I think it's PR. So she's touching
there's that
him.
angle.
She's on her knees. She's standing up. He's pulling her. He's taking something off of her and flinging it. And I'm like,
Oh, I didn't even see that part.
this is a lot, right?
But I mean,
Initially-
there was like
Kiki Palmer had this problem. Kiki Palmer had this kind of issue with Usher, and I was part of people that was like, oh,
People always
the
have
guy was
issues
doing
with
too
Usher.
much, which is like, I understand because Usher was just doing more of the dancing. But this girl was she was the one that was dancing so seductively with your man in the audience laughing sheepishly. So, it's disrespectful. She was doing too much, and there was a clip of the guy walking home, and
Yes,
people were
and
laughing
then her
at.
friends were now saying, I think she was saying something about, oh, was it that bad? And her friend was like, yes, it was that bad. You think it's not that bad, but it was actually that bad. You were all this and all
She
that.
was
and all-
touching this boy.
It was a lot.
Hmm.
And would you be okay with that? Because you're a
Nobody should
Renaissance
be
man.
okay with that.
No, he can be okay with that.
Ah,
He's
okay.
England,
Yeah, so
different.
So the thing is, I used to do parties,
Okay.
and there's been situation I can remember when Terry G was still really hot, and
What year was this?
Elvis.
let's say 2010.
Oh, that's recent.
Terry G was
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really really hot at that time, and
Okay, I was in secondary
let's say
school,
my
so yeah, you're
friend's
right.
my friend's babe called him, and he's like, that so and so wants me to go and meet him at the hotel. Should I go? And I'm just like,
I'm sorry.
Wait.
again.
Wait, you cannot just say that thing like that now. So wanted you to come to the
so
hotel.
like, okay, so they're promoters,
Okay.
and promoters, they know that, oh, this girl really likes Terry G,
Okay.
Mhm.
and she wants to frame it in such a way whereby maybe Terry is inviting her,
Oh.
but maybe she's already told the promoter that I want to see him, and she wants to tell her man in such a way whereby to
Oh.
understand. And in my mind, I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like,
Okay.
you understand what I'm saying? But this is something that has always happened when there's a stage where certain women go through where they are just fangirling,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and even guys as well, they're
Yeah.
fanboying. Like literally, they don't know how to contain themselves when they meet
Can't
someone
relate.
that they idolize. You understand?
Anybody
Because
can get me
I've been to a government office where a guy has come to meet me and told me, "Oh my guy, now you destroy my relationship," and I'm like, "Sorry, what? How?" He's like,
You were the it boy now.
Wait, come. And the guy was like, oh, that I was DMing his girl, but he now told me that, oh, that he checked the DM and he saw that I was not even saying anything to her, like I was not flirting, I was just responding.
London, yeah.
You get, because she was always
You was like, oh, this is a fan.
yeah, so it was just, oh, thank you. You get just normal.
Yeah.
But you know the way she would kind of like paint it to him.
He slid into
Just
my DMs.
yeah, no, not even slid. She'll make it look like maybe you guys are tight. You get, because this is someone that I really idolize and whatnot. And if there's any small fights, she might just say, oh, let me even DM Leo. You get what I'm saying? But you guys are not, so there's
DM
always
Leo,
that
Lebo.
stage where those people that like celebrities would do whatever in that moment. You ask someone that, oh, if you meet Angelina Jolie today, what will you do? Like, oh, more, I will leave my wife. There are people like that. You get. But me, personally, I saw that video and I said, God forbid.
Right, it's gross.
I said, God forbid, because you don't want a situation whereby you're with someone that has no self-respect.
Yes.
I've been in situations whereby people or someone that I really, really like, or not in a, I just like this person. This person is amazing. And the person has, in front of someone that I was with, and the person has like, oh, come, let's go have, dinner and all of that. And I heard myself, no, sorry, that can't happen. I'm, with my, you. That's how you
Yeah,
normally
I would have
treat
seen. The
those
thing is that me,
situations.
I didn't personally, right? I'm very scatter with my ideologies, right? So if I watched that video, I was waiting for a different angle. If Omah Lay had come up to the girl, I was like, join me on stage. She looks to her guy, and the guy was like, because that people,
yes,
me
now.
personally,
Yes.
if my babe really likes Usher, and I know Usher does that on stage, and she really, really wants it, I'm like, by all means. But if you totally disregard me and do it, I'm not saying you should ask for permission, but at least look me. She did not turn back once. This girl just saw the green lights. She
Went
moved.
straight.
And that is you.
She moved.
That's why it's important for you to know what you can take.
Yeah.
You should not be with someone that is like that.
Yeah.
You get, if you can't take it.
I mean, maybe that's the point where he realized that this is the kind of person she is. Because there's always the point where you realize.
I just think they are young.
Yeah, and looking at those two, the girl and the way the girl is and the way the guy looks, countenance, they're going to come back together. The girl, she looks like she's the prize to me.
Mm.
And women are fantastic gaslighters. So
That's to you, Sha.
all right. All right. That is all we can take on this episode of Pulse Hot Takes. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.